Good evening, everybody, and thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you as well to everybody who is joining us on cyberspace. Tonight is a great opportunity for our incoming sixth grade parents as well as students who are here. Thank you guys for being with us as well, to hear firsthand what the experience is going to be like at Pro Miller next year. And yes, you'll hear from me, but the real important part tonight is you're going to hear it firsthand from a lot of the teachers that you guys are going to be working with, as well as other staff members who are going to play an important role in your middle school lives throughout the next 3 years at Pro Miller. So again, tonight we're going to go over our welcome as well as some introductions to our staff, what you guys can expect in your time at Pro Miller, what life is going to be like in your time at Pro Miller, and then at the end we'll wrap up with some questions and answers. And that also goes for anybody who's joining us online. Feel free to submit questions as well. I will certainly be in touch with you and get back to you anytime you need to. All right. So Mr. Mongan, unfortunately, is not able to be with us tonight. Mr. Buser, your assistant principal, and I'm here on behalf of both of us. And with us as well, the people that you'll be working with over the next 2 years, we have our school counselors. We have Mrs. Comprelli, we have Mrs. Struns, we also have Mrs. McLean, who's here with us this evening, who you guys will hear from in a little bit. And then we also have a lot of our sixth grade representatives with us as well. So to kick off this evening's introductions, I would like to invite up Mrs. Barnes-Rizzo, who is actually the facilitator of our sixth grade team. And she's going to speak to you a little bit about the experience your students will have with us at Pro Miller.
Thank you. Okay. We'll get those spots. So good evening and welcome to Pro Miller. And my name is Jennifer Barnes, and I have the privilege of being the sixth grade team facilitator. I'm finishing up my 22nd year of teaching and my 12th year here at PRM. The teachers who make up our team are a wonderful group of people that truly understand what it's like to be in their shoes and the uncertainty that comes with starting middle school. We understand what it's like for your children to begin a new school and schedule. We have a shared philosophy here in sixth grade, and we work together as a team with the counselors and administration to plan events, make sure that the students' social and emotional and academic needs are being met. At the beginning of sixth grade, we nurture and help guide them as they figure out their lockers and their locks, their classrooms, and managing to get through the hallways, learning their teachers and what's expected of them. On the first day, we meet them in the gym and we welcome them, we introduce ourselves and help them navigate to first period. After a few weeks or so, they start to become familiar with the building and what's expected of them and their routine. They love being independent and changing classes throughout the day. And by the end of the first marking period, they truly take on the role on their own. And with a little bit of guidance, we help them when they need it. By the end of sixth grade, it's always nice to see how they've grown into responsible, independent individuals. The transformation still impresses us every year. Over the summer, check the Pro Miller website, and we will post a welcome letter with important information and also a supply list of what is needed for each class. During the first and second week of school, we'll help organize them in class together, and it will help alleviate any anxiety that they may have about what they need to know and how to organize it. Lastly, the start of the school year, you will be filled with many emotions, excitement, as well as some anxiety. But remember, our team is made up of not only teachers, but parents as well. And we will conquer all together in September here at PRM. Thank you. And Ms. McLean, our guidance counselor, is up next.
Hello, everyone, and hello, everyone there too, out in the cyber world. So I'm Tara McLean. I'm one of the counselors here. We are so lucky to have mental health as a priority at Pro Miller in Kinnelon. And so I am one of a team of counselors, as Mrs. Barnes mentioned. Mrs. Struns and Mrs. Comprelli are both here. They overlap the day. Mrs. Comprelli is here in the morning. Mrs. Struns is here in the afternoon. We overlap, and I'm here all day. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself first, since I'm here. So I have spent in Kinnelon about 25 years, so about half my lifetime in Kinnelon District as a teacher first at Stony Brook, I know, you're going to realize just how old I am if you didn't figure it out already. And then a counselor at Stony Brook, and now for the last 16 years I've been a counselor at Pearl Miller. So what's nice is that I know after teaching 3rd grade as well, but being a counselor there, I knew what it was like being in 5th grade and 4th grade, and then that transition and how it felt on that end, because I was working with the Stony Brook kids for many years before I came here, and now this has been my new home for a while, and it is great. And like the teachers will say, we're not just saying it, we all work so closely together to support your children coming in. Now I'll go back to my script. So we are broken into the alphabet. So I work with kids with last names L through Z, and then Mrs. Capelli and Mrs. Strunz work at the beginning of the alphabet. But I always say we play nice and share, and kids come to each other. We welcome all the kids. It's not like I won't talk to a child that has a last name at the beginning of the alphabet, but we would be your contact person. We'll listen in on course for you. And so we're your contact person, because now you're going from having 2 teachers to 9, 8, whatever, a lot of different teachers. And it's hard as a parent. I'm a parent of a middle schooler as well. It's difficult who do I reach out to? I need to get maybe a mass information out to a bunch of the teachers. So we are a liaison for you, or you're like, I don't know who to contact about this thing going on, or they're telling me something, or how do I check their homework? How do I work this on course? Because it's very different at Stony Brook. So you use us as a go-between. So sometimes it seems like we're almost there as much for the parents as we are for the kids, especially in the beginning of the year. So you're never bothering us. Don't hesitate to reach out. That's what we're there for. We just like in Stony Brook with Mrs. Tenga as a counselor, we work with the kids socially, emotionally, academically. We go into lessons at the beginning of the year. That we go into all the 6th grade classes, and we do a needs assessment. We introduce ourselves, explain how do you get to us if you need us. So we do a Google form, which is so nice because it collects all the data for us. And then we do minute meetings. So we'll meet every single one of our students. I'll meet every kid on my list from L through Z in the beginning by the first week in October. And the other counselors will do the same as well. We also did a mid-year check-in, so we're seeing every single kid at least twice, even if they never want to see us again or don't ever need us again. We have those opportunities to really connect with them, and it's just nice. It's fun being able to talk to them. We go and we do lessons. We'll talk about self-advocacy. We'll talk about respect. We'll talk about test-taking skills. We did this year. We do a bunch of different things. So we're in the classrooms as well, which is nice for me since I was an old teacher. I get a little of both worlds. What else? Oh, we have different lunch groups that we offer. We all do different things. Times for them to just, get together, meet new kids. Maybe it's working on certain skills or needs, or just running games, letting them play games at lunch so they have something else to do than just sit, or they get to meet other kids and talk to other kids. So we just try to just keep moving. We're out there, we're everywhere. It's very normalized coming to the counselor. So next week, 2 weeks from this week, at the beginning, it's like the 11th or 12th or something, your children will be coming to Pearl Miller. They'll be coming with their 5th grade classes. They will get a tour by our new set of peer mentors who will be training next week. And they'll be toured by the kids. They'll go see a band performance. They'll get to see the school. And it's really nice for them. They do a question and answer with the peer mentors. And they start to get a sense, and the kids are here today too, even just being here, you start to see, oh, okay, this is where I'm going next year. This is what I'm going to be experiencing. And then be looking for information. In the summer, there will be an orientation tour at the end of August. So at that point, the students usually will have their schedules, and then the peer mentors will take them around again. But this time they'll say, and there's your language arts class, there's your science class. So by the time they come in on those days that Mrs. Lawrence mentioned, where they come together, we get them to first period, they've already been in the school a couple times, and the anxiety starts to get down. But we're there for you. All the teachers are amazing. This group is just fantastic. And if we can do anything to ease the transition, we are here for you, but welcome. And I would say I'm looking forward to it. I am, but I'm really looking forward to summer first. And then I'll be looking forward to September. Oh, and the people here, you have to laugh a lot at any jokes. I appreciate that, because we can't hear them. So they'll be very disappointed if there's not any laughter. So you have to be very, very loud. Okay? There's not a good word. Thank you.
Thank you for the setup. But she actually stole my not a joke. It's the exact same words that I have. You'll hear. Good evening, everybody at home. Good evening here. My name is Melissa Eppert. This is my 25th year here at Pearl Miller, so I have basically spent half my life in 6th grade.
Oh, yours is
my
a little
joke.
different.
Yeah, a little bit. I teach 6th grade social studies. So I currently also have a daughter who's in middle school, so I really truly do understand the social, emotional, and academic growth that happens in middle school, but I also understand the beginning could be a little bit hard transitioning from 5th to 6th, so we're here to help. Having social studies daily is also a transition for students. So in the beginning of the school year, especially that first marking period, the focus is really helping them adjust to having social studies daily and what the expectations are and what content will be covered. So we also teach study tools in social studies class, how to access resources like the online textbook. We kind of navigate through on-course together and what help is there for them to access as well. In the online textbook that we use in 6th grade, there's great vocabulary skills, there's highlighting the main ideas, there's a lot of virtual activities and reinforcement that we use during the online textbook that really supports them at home, and it really helps them better understand what I'm teaching in the classroom. The 6th grade curriculum in social studies focuses on ancient civilizations and the common threads that all of those civilizations hold. It's a very hands-on program, so a lot of the time the students will do an exploratory activity first, make predictions and hypotheses, and then we go to the online textbook and they find out what the experts and historians believe. So it's kind of like a little bit first, but it really does help them with their critical thinking skills and their higher level. We begin the school year with prehistoric times, and then we move on to the first farming villages. From there, we move into ancient Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt, India, China, Greece, and then we end the school year with ancient Rome. And it's a nice transition from the end of 6th grade to the beginning of 7th grade, because in the beginning of 7th grade, they pick up with the fall of ancient Rome. From there, we also focus on 2 of the world's religions in 6th grade, Hinduism and Buddhism, and we really focus on the similarities amongst the world religions. In addition to the curriculum, embedded in every single unit is going to be civics and current events. My main goal throughout the year is for students to gain a better understanding of the connection between that past and the present, because it's all around us. And I love at the end of the year, like right now, I'm seeing the students are really able to make those connections between what they gained about the past and how it really is embedded into our daily lives. I look forward to meeting each and every one of you in September, and have a nice restful summer, and we'll see you soon.
Good evening, everyone, home and here. My name is Bonnie Hendricks, and I'm 6th grade band director here at PRM. 6th grade band is a continuation of the instrumental music program that some students started in 4th grade at Stony Brook with Mr. Tedesco. But 6th grade is also the time that any student, even if you didn't have an instrument in elementary school, this is the time any student can start to learn an instrument for the first time. In band, students will learn to rehearse as an ensemble, music reading skills, music techniques that are specific to their instrument. We also focus on developing our critical listening and creativity skills, our composing skills, and our overall basic understanding of how music is created and practiced. This year marks the first time that we're going to have a 6th grade concert at the high school in our auditorium, and the students are super excited. We went last week in practice, so they're super excited. So I know hopefully continue that next year with your 6th grade band experience. I hope that your child chooses the opportunity to learn a new instrument and be part of a class where we focus on teamwork and a performance goal and fun each and every day. In 6th grade, students will receive one small group lesson every week in addition to their regularly scheduled band class. If you are currently in 5th grade band with Mr. Tedesco, we're going to continue and use the same essential elements book that you have, so you get to keep the same book with you. If you have an instrument, we welcome you to bring it to school. If you've ever wanted to switch to another instrument, this is the time. Again, if you've never played an instrument before, you can still sign up for band and we will teach you, okay? The current 5th grade students, will have the opportunity to actually watch the band, see all the different instruments. When they come up next 2 weeks, the 12th and the 13th, every group will have kind of a small assembly where the band will perform for them, and I'm going to show them every instrument so they can kind of get an idea, and then go home and talk with you, watch some YouTube videos, and see where they might want to go. If you have any question regarding instruments, the rentals, the program, or your child's choices of what they will have, I'd be more than happy to discuss. You can just email me, call me. I'm always here. So I just want as many students to have the love for band and music as I do. And this is the time in 6th grade when everybody can join. And by the end of 6th grade, you never know who started in 6th grade and who started in 4th grade. So this is the time. So if you've ever thought about trying an instrument, we can do it next year. So if you have any questions, just give me an email. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Herbert. I'm one of the 6th grade math teachers here. Here in 6th grade, we offer two types of math courses, our regular and accelerated. In both of the courses, we expect that students challenge themselves, work hard, and persevere through difficult problems. We know that it can be really easy to give up on a problem when it seems too difficult, but we're going to continue to work with your students next year throughout the entire year to help them, encourage them to keep going and to do their best in everything that they do. We make sure that they know that it's okay to make mistakes as long as we continue to learn from them throughout the year. One of the reasons that I personally love teaching 6th grade is because we teach so many real life topics that they're going to continue to use throughout the rest of their lives, including fractions, decimals, percents, unit rate, tax, tip, discounts, geometry, and statistics. And we also do an introduction to algebra topics. We do a lot of things that are going to set your kids up for success in the future. I highly encourage you next year to work with your students and talk with them about the topics that they're learning in class. And I really look forward to meeting them all in the fall. I know it's going to be here before we know it. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Mr. Hubbard. I teach 6th grade science, and I love teaching 6th graders. I think it's a great age. They're little and fun, and so we have science every day. The curriculum is something called iQuest, and that stands for Investigate and Question Our World Through Science and Technology. And what's great about this curriculum is that it was developed by the same people that developed the NGSS science standards. And it's a little different than when we went to school and learned science. It is a spiraled curriculum, so likely you learned about earth science the first year, maybe life science the second year, and then physical science the last year. But this is spiraled, which means chemistry, physics, and biology are taught every year. And so the biggest difference is that there's no textbook. And there's a workbook, it's online, which takes a little bit of getting used to. That's not what you're used to growing up, right? But it's also very different on how we learn. So when we learned from a top-down approach where it was the big concepts and then we broke them down. But iQuest is a little different, where they explore and experience. So it's more of like a built-up thing. So a phenomenon sparks curiosity and asking questions, and the questions drive the scientific investigations, and the investigations along with the class discussions help them to piece it all together. And the conclusions are the scientific principles. So for an example, how do you smell things from a distance would be a driving question. So we just actually did this in science class where we had a jar, we opened up the jar, and the students raised their hand when they smelled it. And from this, we built the concept that there's stuff in the air, there's particles, and things need to travel through the air. And from there, we developed the concept of matter and atoms. From there, we move on. So I think this year what I realized is that it's really important for students to embrace struggle a little bit with learning. So it's more like questioning things and not maybe knowing the answer right now. So it's not like you're given the answer and, oh, this is what it is. It's important for them to work with each other. So it kind of builds teamwork, cooperation, and it's important to embrace that part of the program, where they're asking questions and coming to their own conclusions. Then we build up the concepts from there. So looking forward to seeing you next year, and see you next.
Buenas noches. My name is Linda McMurray. Bonsoir tout le monde. I'm Ms. McKay. And we're the representatives of sixth grade teachers for the World Language Program. And your child has chosen a program, and it will be a 3-year program in Pro Miller where they study the French or Spanish for the 3 years. It's designed to get them to level 2 at the high school, which gives them opportunities. They can go into AP courses, or they can go into honor classes. It gives them a lot more flexibility having had that base through Pro Miller to get into the high school. We are very excited in 6th grade because it's the first time your child is taking a language as a core class. So yes, there's tests and there's homework, but they're really getting into an everyday program where they're able to speak, listen, read, and write in the language. And in our classes, we start from the very beginning. We start with the alphabet for pronunciation purposes, for being able to spell in a foreign language. And by the end of the year now, they're speaking and writing in complete sentences about themselves, about other people, and it's very satisfying to us, and it's exciting for them because we've had students go to other countries where the language is spoken and say, I was able to say this, I was able to understand that, and that's huge.
So we are very excited for next year. So the language classes are every day, and that's really important to us and for your child's learning. We don't want you or the kids to feel anxious about homework or being able to help them in a foreign language or not being able to help them. They will be able to do it. They will. We're always available for extra help. We always try to make everything clear every day. We use a lot of authentic resources. So we want them to hear authentic songs or hear little authentic pieces, maybe video. They get to play some video games with language and some different computer programs we have. It's an exciting class. We really want to make it purposeful for your kids. And like Ms. McMurray said, it's like a good springboard to be excited and continue with that language throughout their high school years. And you do have the chance to change if you want to by then. But we're very open.
Or add a language.
Right. So we're very, right. Some kids are very proficient and are able to handle a double language. And of course, we know this is very important for college essays, college admissions, for applications and so forth. So we're very looking forward to it. We'd like it to be meaningful, fun, purposeful. And again, just like for Mr. Huckard, a lot of the work can be either partner work or group work. We just have good times. We really are excited for next year.
We look forward to seeing you next year in our language classes.
Wish I had a buddy up here with me. I'm kidding. I wish I could also speak as freely as you guys. I have to look at my paper. I can't do that like that. So that was. Okay. My name is Mary Renzignola. I'm one of the 6th grade special education teachers, but I also teach 7th and 8th grade as well. I've been at PRM about 10 years now. This is actually my 10th year here. I absolutely love it, and I love working with every single one of these teachers. So your children are very lucky to have one of these teachers next year. At PRM, we offer a full range of services for students. We offer PT, OT, speech, and we have our own child study team as well. The special education academic program has several components. They are life skills, resource room, and we have co-taught classes. So in the resource room setting, we parallel the curriculum with the general education curriculum and adjust the pacing as needed. And we also make changes within, the pacing of it, whether it's, chunking notes, creating additional study pieces, study guides for those students, any of those additional pieces to help them and meet their needs. That is our main goal of our special education program, is to meet the needs of every student. The largest program we have is the co-teaching program, which is also referred to as the in-class support setting. So this is when we team a general education teacher and a special education teacher, and they work together to deliver instruction. In addition to co-teaching, they work together to assist all of the students in the classroom, and we differentiate instruction and make modifications as needed. And there are co-taught classes for language arts, math, social studies, and science. And then we also have an additional support class that helps students with organization, study skills. Maybe they need to catch up on maybe some missed homeworks due to absences or something like that. It's kind of built for them to kind of catch up in that aspect as well. So it's not a homework class per se, but it's an opportunity for students to study, prepare for long-range assignments, things like that. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you all in September. Thank you.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I am Faith Vanderzee. I'm one of the 6th grade language arts teachers, one of 2. And language arts is an hour-long class in the middle school. Most other classes are 40 minutes, but math and language arts are an hour because time is built in for the students to have this protected, time to read, to write. This takes stamina and the right environment. So that's a real fortunate thing for us as teachers to have that extra time built in so we can circulate the room and help students. But anyway, I went right off the bat. I'm gonna do that. All right, so integrated language arts, or ILA as it's sometimes called, combines reading and writing instruction. And throughout the year, students will engage in a variety of writing tasks, be it literary essays, research-based presentations, personal essays, constructive responses, narratives, poems, and oral presentation. You get the idea. We're trying to hit everyone's interest, build skills in all the type of language arts. We aim to help children build from where they are. So a lot of our feedback will come personal to the students on their documents, on course, so that they have sort of an artifact of what they're told they need to specifically work on for their coming writing assignments. And the idea is we would see their incremental personal growth each time. In reading, students will be led in the practice of using reading strategies like predicting and clarifying and questioning and connecting. And then those things are a springboard for them to deepen their analysis of texts. And as the year goes on, the texts become increasingly more complex towards the top end of the grade level, and we scaffold that work together as a class while also then providing students with independent reading. We like to have them with a book in their hand all the time. So they have their locker library, right? So let's say a student finishes an assignment early, they have a book that they can then go to one of our comfy chairs, we have some flexible seating, and they can sit and read their book and have that guarded, protected time as well. Speaking of independent reading, soon you are going to receive information about the summer reading program, which I know you're all very excited about. And so be on the lookout for that. And we're calling the program this year One School, One Book, One Community. And we even have t-shirts, we have this big kickoff plan. It's going to be great. Kids are going to be so excited to read over the summer. And so ultimately, throughout the experience all year, we hope the students will find at least some of what we do enjoyable, certainly feel like when they look back at where they start and where they end up, they should feel like, wow, I tell the kids, it's almost like you thought something was amazing that you did in 3rd grade. It was on the refrigerator at the time. And then now you look back and you go, ooh, like that was what I thought was good. Yeah, we're on a pathway here, right? We all need a growth mindset. Writing is a process. We have to encourage rewriting, so something comes back with a grade. You're not happy with it, you think it could be better, tell your teacher, take the opportunity, make it the best it can be, polish it up. We welcome that because, that just fuels motivation for the students. And I'm excited for a new year, even though this one hasn't even ended yet. But it's always exciting. This is the end of my 19th year here, and I still really love teaching 6th grade. I just tell everybody it's a sweet spot. So and I hope to meet all of you more so in September.
We have folks at home can see the presentation now. Thank you so much to our staff members. Mr. Quintella, who is our physical education representative, could not be here with us this evening. He is actually currently coaching our baseball team in the county championship game. So I'm unsure how they're doing at the moment, but I certainly hope they're doing well. And go Colts as always. But the information that Mr. Quintella wanted to share was, so in 6th grade, students will have 3 marking periods of physical education and 1 marking period of health. The topics that will be covered in that health marking period are personal growth, nutrition, and overall development. It will also cover emotional health, and it will also discuss the effects of tobacco, alcohol, and drugs. In physical education, students can expect team sports, cooperative games, fitness activities, running activities, and various recreation sports. Some guidelines for physical education. Students must change for PE. There are lockers that will be available, and I will discuss lockers and locks shortly. They must have sneakers and suitable clothing for phys ed. Locks can be purchased through the HSA, which again I'll provide more information on in just a little bit. All medical excuses for physical education must go through our school nurse. And all students will understand these guidelines throughout the first week of phys ed. So in that last bullet point, what Mr. Quintella is expressing, as well as many other of our teachers have expressed tonight, is that we know this is a transition. We know this is new. We're here to help you with that, and we're going to help you. We're going to help smooth out every concern and every nuance as we begin the school year in September. Some additional staff members. We have our child study team, Mrs. Siopa and Mrs. Malone. They work with our students who have IEPs. They also work very closely with our counseling department, as well as all the teachers that you heard from here tonight. They attend team meetings. They work in conjunction to make sure they're providing the best possible learning environment for their students and for your children. We also have Mrs. Battaglia, who's not here with us this evening, but we are blessed to have Ms. Battaglia as our media specialist. She is a wealth of knowledge for our students. Classes often go to the media center, especially in the areas of social studies and English, to learn about different ways of researching using some of the databases that we have available at Pearl Miller Middle School to just immerse themselves in the information for their respective classes. And for the school nurse, I am excited for Mrs. Prohl that she announced her retirement, so she unfortunately will not be with us. So Mr. Mongan and I are in the process of interviewing for a new nurse currently. But congratulations to Mrs. Prohl. For anybody who had children come through the school already, you certainly know how outstanding she was. And those are certainly big shoes to fill. So again, congratulations to her on her retirement. So what to expect? The transition from Stony Brook to Pearl Miller, it's a lot, right? When students come here as 6th graders, there's still that elementary school student that's in them. And when they leave here at the end of 8th grade, they're high school students. So there is a tremendous amount of change that occurs in that 3-year period. What to expect from your child? Changes physically, changes socially, emotionally, and from a cognitive standpoint as well. All right? Your child's going to grow and mature in all of these areas, and we're going to be here to assist and support throughout that whole process. What to expect from us as administration, as well as an academic team. Rigorous academic program, and I will go a little bit more in depth in just a moment on this, but we will provide your child with challenging work that will, develop the well-rounded skills to progress themselves through their academic career. Varied experiences. We offer clubs, we offer extracurricular activities, we offer sports. We also have a tremendous amount of activities that occur during the school year and during our school day. So a lot of varied experiences. Support. I know obviously this is McLean touched on a little bit, but the support that is provided to your students, not just in 6th grade, but throughout their time at Pearl Miller, is incredible. We have an outstanding team. This 6th grade team, and I know you've heard some people mention it already, is just an incredible group who have a lot of experience in helping with this transition and helping our students find success in all facets, both the classroom and outside the classroom. So we're here to provide that support. And then communication, right? Whether it be emails, phone calls, the blasters, communication with us as administrators, communication with your counselors, case managers, and staff. It's all going to be, things that you can expect from us as a staff moving forward. So to get a little bit more in depth, that rigorous academic program. right? We have high expectations, right? We expect high expectations for quality, for accuracy, and completion of work, right? A variety of academic course offerings. As Ms. Herbert mentioned, we do have different levels in the mathematics, right? We do have, different electives that students can take, cycle electives that will change every marking period, language choices, some music options. So there are going to be, varied courses for them to choose from. And also a full year's worth of foreign language. That's something that is going to be new to our students. So being in French and Spanish, having that class every day for a full 40 minutes throughout the year is definitely a nuance as well. So these are some of the new things that you can expect from our academic curriculum. Varied experiences. As I said before, we have a lot of hands-on learning experiences. Mr. Hubbard spoke about science. All right, they do labs. They have a lot of activities. Mrs. Eckert, I've been in her classroom where she has taken desks and created caves for students to climb into to simulate being archaeologists and finding artifacts and how those artifacts affect history. There's going to be a lot of hands-on opportunities that are going to be occurring in the classroom. We'll have field trips. All right, so the 6th grade will go on a field trip, and as well as all the extracurricular activities that I spoke of, whether that be club activities. Right, some of our clubs are academically driven. We have a coding club currently. We have robotics clubs. We also have sports. Right? We offer in the fall we do have soccer. We have cross country. Right, in the winter we offer wrestling. We have basketball. We have volleyball. In the spring we have track. We have baseball. We have softball. So we have a lot of sports and activities for students to be getting involved in. That support aspect. Right, we have a team teaching approach. And what that means is that twice a week, the individuals sitting in front of you meet as a group. And the purpose of that, and our counselors and case managers joined in on that meeting, myself and Mr. Mongan joined in on those meetings. And the purpose of that is so that we can all make sure that we are working together for the betterment of all of our students, right? Addressing any concerns, addressing any issues, providing support, essentially articulating one another of strategies that have been positive, things that would be great for the 6th grade overall, discussing field trip opportunities, discussing activities to be done. It's an awesome approach, and that support is truly there. Our school counselors play a huge role in that support. Right, Mr. Mongan and I, our doors are always open, and your counselors, their doors are always open as well. And as Ms. McLean said, even though it's broken down academically, there's certainly no shortage of people that you can come see if you have questions or if you're in any need. Okay, special programs that we have throughout the school, as well as the INRS process. And our INRS process, I know sometimes people hear that and they're concerned. There's like a dark cloud that looms over that. Please don't look at it that way. The IRS process is meant to do nothing but help. And we will always work in conjunction with you as the family to make sure that we're all on the same page, taking that team approach to provide any supports necessary to help your child be successful in the academic setting. And then, of course, our child study team, as I mentioned, they're there to work with our students with IEPs, but again, they work closely with all the academic staff that we have here, not just in front of you this evening, but throughout the entire building. We truly are a team at Pearl Miller Middle School. And I have no qualms about saying that because I've worked with every single one of these people here, and as well as all of our teachers throughout the school building. And it is truly a team, and this 6th grade team especially. There could be a better group for you guys to be entering and making a transition with, because they are phenomenal at what they do, and they are truly invested in helping you acclimate to Pearl Miller and then be the best student that you can be throughout your year at 6th grade. And then communication. So a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails. There will be times that Mr. Mongan and I are sending out text casters and email blasts regularly. You will certainly get notifications from teachers, whether that be phone calls, both positive phone calls, or if there's concerns, emails for the same exact reasons. And also Encores is a phenomenal way to get information. The teachers will regularly update their grades in Encores. They'll post comments if needed in Encores. So these are our student information system, which is Encores is again another mode for us to communicate with you and for you to express any concerns you have from us. Obviously, our Pearl Miller website as well. And then the Home and School Association, we have meetings with the HSA that are also a great opportunity for, even if you're not an officer in the HSA, you're all, as parents, welcome to attend and hear what's going on in the school and hear new things that we have coming up and events that we're trying to plan for the students. So the communication piece, too, is something you can absolutely expect from us. Life at PRM. This may seem scary. Please don't be nervous. I will explain this fully. Okay? So this is what a typical 6th grade schedule may look like. Period 1 is the 6th grade cycle schedule. What that means is that every day, period 1, will either be one of your performing arts classes, be it band, music appreciation, or choir, Or it'll be one of your cycle electives, which in 6th grade is celebrating full value, art, robotics, and financial literacy. If you'll notice, we have the day A and day B. The only classes that change with the day A and day B rotation is that first period, that cycle class. So when you come into school on Monday and you have band first period, that is day A. Tuesday will be day B. Day B, your first marking period elective might be art. On Monday, you'll go to band. On Tuesday, you'll go to art. Wednesday, day A again, back to band. Thursday, day B again, back to art. Periods 2 through 9 do not change. Those are the same every single day. But that period 1 has the A-B rotation. Don't worry, we make announcements every single day what day it is, and thank goodness we do, because I have no clue until I do that announcement every morning. So that we will announce that every single day with the morning announcements, along with our Pledge of Allegiance. We will announce if it's a day A or a day B for students. I know you heard Mrs. Vanderzee and Mrs. Herbert speak about math and English and how they are an hour each. So I understand this section here may seem a little confusing, periods 2, 3, and 4. If you look on the far left, okay, every period is 40 minutes. Okay, so period 2 is 9:07 to 9:47. 4 minutes passing time, period 3, 9:51 to 10:31. 4 minutes passing time, period 4, 10:35 to 11:15. If students have math and English in that period, each one in that time, the 3-period block, math and English are both a period and a half each. So if your math class is period 2, math will span all of period 2 and the first 20 minutes of period 3. They will then transition to ILA. The second 20 minutes of period 3 will be ILA, as well as all 40 minutes of period 4, providing 60 minutes of math and English instruction every single day for our students. Period 5 being lunch, 6 phys ed, 7 French or Spanish, science 8, and last but not least, Mrs. Eckert, finishing the day with social studies. So this may seem confusing as you're looking at this, and I may have explained it, and you might be sitting there saying, what did he just say? It's all good. As you continue to come and have the student orientation with us in 2 weeks, we will go over this again in full detail. When you guys get your schedules, this will be mapped out for you. This middle period, period 3 between math and ILA, is called the split period. So when you see your schedule next year and you see, okay, I have math period 2, then it says math ILA split, and then ILA period 4, that means that that period 3 is that split period where the first 20 minutes of math, the second 20 minutes is ILA. This will all be mapped out for you in your respective schedules that you guys will receive. School climate, continue to be life at Pro Miller. Full value, I know you guys are all familiar with full value from your time at Stony Brook, right? And we very much operate within the principles of full value here at Pro Miller, all right? That's be here, be safe, be honest, set goals, let go, move on, and care for self and others. One of our cycle electives is actually celebrating full value. And the whole purpose of that class is to really focus on our full value system and help our 6th grade students, again, acclimate and just be the best student and essentially community member of Pro Miller that they can be. We have pillars of character at Pro Miller, which we do as teams. We actually get together and we nominate students. We do this based on our observations. Our pillars of character are trustworthiness, caring, respect, responsibility, fairness, and citizenship. We observe our students on a daily basis doing phenomenal things for themselves, for their peers, for our school community as a whole. These things do not go unnoticed. So as teachers, as educators, we see these things and we want to celebrate these things because we want to continue to encourage our young students to be the best person and best citizen of Pro Miller that they can be. So we like to take the opportunity to celebrate the good character traits that they display. And that's where we make nominations for pillars of character. We announce them over the PA system, and we thank you to Mr. Mango, and one of his big proponents was helping us to celebrate these students at board meetings. So if you've been present at board meetings or if you've heard in on our board meetings, we announce and celebrate those students in that community setting, because again, the great actions that you guys do day in and day out for yourselves, for your peers, and for our school should be celebrated. So we'd like to take every opportunity to make sure that we are acknowledging that and giving you the credit that is well deserved. Student council. So As sixth graders, you will begin hearing announcements about student council in September. And essentially what those announcements will be is you'll be invited to attend, and you're not in any way required, but it is optional, invited to attend meetings. We have what's known as an executive board, and that's made up of eighth graders. And some of our executive board eighth graders, they are responsible for really going into our cult cup and our school spirit, and I will get into all that in a little bit. And usually around October, November, once we have time to, once our advisors for the executive board have time to meet with those students and help them get the ball rolling for their eighth grade year, we invite sixth graders as well as seventh graders to join in on those meetings and be part of student council, be part of the great activities that we have moving forward throughout the school year for you guys as students. So if student council is something you're interested in, please listen out. Keep me around for those announcements, especially early in September. And we'll make them throughout the school year because, again, some of those meetings won't be occurring until October or November. If that's something that you aspire to be on, if that's something you're interested in, and you want to be involved in the workings of the school, please, you are invited to attend. We welcome your participation. And again, you're really just promoting the outstanding activities that are going to happen at the school. You're going to be working in conjunction with seventh and eighth graders, which is a great opportunity for you as well. Team meetings. Again, our teachers have team meetings twice a week. They meet as teams. Even though we meet twice a week as teams, we're working together and talking together on a daily basis. So again, that is part of our climate as a staff, is working together cohesively as a unit for the betterment of our students. We're here to help you. We're here to help the students. And again, we're all in the same exact team. You guys are an integral part of that team as well. Lunchtime. Lunchtime is going to look a little bit different. Students are going to have a full 40 minutes for lunch. All right. You're going to be sitting in this room, sitting at these tables, okay, being called up by day area. So we break it down. Every 3 tables is considered a day of the week. So those first 3 tables on that side are Monday, followed by Tuesday in the back, Wednesday here, Thursday, and then Friday A and Friday B over here. That's actually how we call students up for lunch. We do have an awesome cafeteria staff who provides hot lunch for us. I know you have questions. There'll be an opportunity at the end, so please don't forget it because we want to make sure we answer all your questions. Thank you. So we do have hot lunch. We do actually have a great salad bar as well, so there's awesome opportunities. And of course, you guys are welcome to bring your own lunch as always as well. Something that always comes up, if you forget your lunch, parents can always drop off. We have 3 buckets for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade out in the front for parents to drop off. If I'm the one that happens to be at that buzzer when you drop off, I'm going to ask you what it is because if it's good, I'm probably going to take a little bit of it. But again, if anything happens, by all means, just call us. We can let your child know, especially if you call us, your child just started lunch, and you say, I'm on the way to school. They forgot their lunch. It's all good. As soon as you buzz in, either me or Mr. Mongan or one of our administrative assistants in the office will grab that and run it down here to the cafeteria because we want to make sure everybody's eating and everybody's enjoying that time. Lunch really is a great time. We want you to be with your friends. We want you to decompress a little bit. This is a big academic schedule that I showed you, right? It's a lot of classes, and it's going to look and feel a lot different than your time at studying. So lunch is a great time for you to decompress. It's not a stressful time. It's an enjoyable time. Eat, relax, have fun, all right? Talk, interact, all right? It's okay. It gets loud in here sometimes. As long as it's appropriate, as long as it's respectful, let it get loud, right? We want you to talk. We want you to have fun. The academic day is tough, and we do have a rigorous curriculum. We do ask a lot of you. So in understanding that, we also ask you to take the opportunities we provide you to relax and decompress. That is just as important as all that hard work that you guys are doing in the classroom. With whom should my child speak if he or she has a problem? The best answer to this question, anybody and everybody at Chrome. Every single one of these educators here in front of you, as well as teachers that might not be here tonight that you're going to have next year in the classroom, are phenomenal people and they want to help you. They are here for anything any questions, any concerns, whether it be academic or otherwise. Your counselors are a phenomenal resource. They're all experienced counselors. They're all phenomenal at what they do. Their doors are always open. Email them, stop in. Parents, you can always call in. All right, you're welcome to come in for meetings. We're always here for you. Our child study team is here for you. Their doors are always open. Myself and Mr. Mongan, we are always here as well. All right, I know sometimes as students you may be thinking it's a principal and assistant principal. I don't want to go down there. Please come see us. I welcome you coming into my office and talking to me because it's going to be way much more enjoyable than whatever paperwork is on my desk. So please come see us. We're here to help you. All right, so me and Mr. Mongan, as well as all of these outstanding teachers that you guys have, are here for you. So to answer that question, anybody and everybody at Chrome Middle School. Okay. Student council, our Coke Cup competition. This goes on throughout the school year, and this is such an awesome community team building, part of Pro Miller. So we run Spirit Weeks throughout the school year, and every Spirit Week that we have is a week-long theme days, whether it be pajama day, whether it be a crazy hat day, whether it be dressing up on Halloween. All right, these are all for Coke Cup points. Participation in these things counts as Coke Cup points. So we encourage as much participation as possible. And then at the end of these Spirit Weeks that we have, we end them with a pep rally. The whole school comes together. That 8th grade exec board, in conjunction with any 6th and 7th graders who want to be involved in these meetings, discuss fun activities that we can do. Sometimes those games involve, playing Newcomb against the staff. All right. Sometimes it's relay races with the students. Sometimes it's dances or hula hoop competitions. It is awesome, and they're so much fun. And again, this is throughout the entire year. Our exec board and our advisors are so great and so in tune with what's going on at the school that sometimes they recognize that we have a great opportunity to pop up a Coke Cup competition, and sometimes we'll just, with 2 weeks' notice, boom, on this date, it's going to be a holiday Coke Cup competition. Sometimes we also have hall decorating activities. All these things are for Coke Cup points. So the Coke Cup is something that we do throughout the school year, and it is a competition for every grade level. Right, so 6th grade will be their own team, their own tally of points, 7th, 8th, and so on. All right, so really it is just an awesome way for you guys to work as a team. And a lot of what we do, some of it's charitable, making donations to food pantries and things along those lines. All right, and it's also for the betterment of our school as well. All right, so again, great opportunities to work as a team and really just continue to foster that positive community. Grade level assigned spirit colors. So every grade has their spirit color. Do we know what 6th grades are doing next year? White?
No, well, white this year.
White this year?
Whatever the 8th grade is this year, that'll be.
So you guys are going to be black next year. All right, so we have white, black, and green. All right, with the different teams. All right, so you guys will be black next year. Thank you very much for that. That may be Mr. Catello beating the horn in the back. Perhaps the baseball team won. So those grade level T-shirts, those grade level spirit colors, we have T-shirts for your spirit color. It is a Pro Miller T-shirt that has our school motto on it, which is one school, one community. And that is a motto that we are all about here at Pro Miller, okay? Both inside and outside of the classroom. The T-shirt sale will be in early September. Information will be sent out. It's all online. Right, so that information will be sent out to students. Obviously, you'll be informed about it by your teachers in your respective classes. But Mr. Munger and I will also disseminate that information as well to parents via school messaging. Earning points for a variety of...
Can you just tell them that whatever color they are in 6th grade, you keep the same T-shirt and color for all 3 years? So make sure when you order in 6th grade, get it a little bit bigger so that you don't have to buy a new shirt each year.
Thank you, Mrs. Eckert. Thank you. Thank you. In case that wasn't picked up for anybody joining us in cyberspace, Mrs. Eckert said that whatever your Coke Cup, whatever your spirit color is for that year will be your year throughout Pro Miller. So if you're buying your black shirt as a 6th grader, make sure you're buying it a little bit bigger so that you have it throughout middle school. Thank you very much, Mrs. Eckert. And then I discussed earning the Coke Cup points for Spirit Day. For Spirit Days, again, those are so much fun. Those are so enjoyable. And at the end of the year in June, we always name a Coke Cup champion. So actually, we currently have a pretty tight race. I believe it's between the 6th grade and the 8th grade at the moment. It is a very, very tight race. I was actually walking some 8th graders over to the high school for the Jumpstart math class today, and they were talking about how close that race was and things that they wanted to try to do in the school year to earn those points. And Mr. Quintella, congratulations to our Pro Miller baseball team. Yes, you're live. So you just got a live ovation for winning the county championship. So great job, Coach. Congratulations. This slide is overwhelming. Don't worry, I'm not going to read it verbatim, but I do want to take the opportunity to express how vital our HSA is to what we do here at Pro Miller. Our HSA plays an incredible part in helping us organize all sorts of fun events, extracurricular activities that occur outside the school day. All right, whether it be team canteen, Streps events, 8th grade dance. Okay, these are all outstanding activities that our home school association helps us with. PRM the HSA membership, there's dues and fees that are required to be considered part of HSA. And it is also required that you pay those dues and fees for your child to participate in events like Team Canteen or the 8th grade dance. All of that stuff can be paid through membership toolkit, all right? And Mr. Mong and I will send out information about that as well, should you need it. But again, there's just a tremendous amount of awesome things that the HSA does for us. And those Teen Canteen events, guys, are so much fun. You come back to the school for 2 hours on Friday night. 6th grade, I think usually we do it, late winter. And we open up the gym for you guys. Sometimes they bring in a giant 50-foot blow-up obstacle course. We have like the fake tattoo artist going on. We have bingo. We have arts and crafts. We have DJ in here. Like, it's just a really fun night for you guys to be in the school building, but in a non-academic environment. It's an entirely social environment. Parents volunteer to chaperone it. Me and Mr. Mongin are here. We'll always jump in and play knockout or basketball with you. And when I say we'll do that, like give us like 15 minutes because after that we're tapped out. But we will always jump in and play with you. It's just such a cool opportunity. So, but again, participation in evenings like that, paying those dues and fees is mandatory. So make sure that you stay on top of that. It oftentimes does come up that that it might be a week away from that first Team Canteen event, and you might realize, oh no, I never paid the dues. That's totally okay. The HSA will actually accept dues and fees up to the day of. So we'll always work with you. Just give me or Mr. Mongin a call. And certainly you can reach out to the HSA members as well and ask any questions that you might have. Another great thing the HSA does for us, they sell locks. So as an incoming 6th grader, you will need 2 locks. You will need a lock for your hallway locker and a lock for your gym locker. The HSA sells these locks for you. They're $7.50 each. So it's $15 total for the 2 locks. All right. And that's the lock that you will keep throughout your time at Pearl Miller. All right. So again, these are necessary. We do not allow students to use outside locks for gym or for the hallway. That comes down to a safety concern. So those HSA locks that you will purchase, all right, we keep a list of all combinations. So if you forget yours, it's all good. We have it on hand. We can help you out with that. All right. And I know using a lock may be entirely new to you, and that's okay. You'll have the opportunity to practice your lock even before school starts. But once school starts, it's okay because these teachers that are here with you are going to help you. They're going to help you work on getting used to using that combination, finding out what's going to be the best time of day for you to go to your locker, right? Because we don't allow students to carry around their backpack with us all day, so that locker needs to be utilized, right? So finding out what point in the day is important for me to go to my locker and change over my books for later classes. These are all things that our teachers here are going to help you with. And I know I mentioned that transition time of 4 minutes before. Some of you might be nervous saying, okay, wait, if I got to stop at my locker and I only have 4 minutes and my locker's here, my next class is over here, that's okay too. We're going to help you with that transition. We're going to help you get familiar with that. Okay, being late to class because you're using your locker, especially that first week or two, it's not going to be a problem, right? We're here to help. We understand it's new. We understand it's a transition, and we're going to help you every step of the way. Another great thing that the HSA has is locker ladders. So if that's something that you're interested in, they do sell those as well. All of these are sold. I mean, that's entirely optional, but the locker ladder is pretty cool. It hangs in the locker and actually provides shelves within the locker. So if that's something that you're interested in, that is available for you. It is a locker ladder, and again, that can all be purchased through the HSA. All right. So awesome things that they do to help you guys transition and get organized as you make this transition to Pearl Miller. So at this point, I would invite anybody who has any questions to please ask. Please feel free to ask questions. And if it's a question that may be directed towards a specific staff members for the live stream, please do come up as well to answer that question. Yes. Great question. The question was, will we get to choose our own combinations for the locks? No, you will not. What happens is the master lock that you purchase, when you open it, there will actually be a tag in there that will tell you what the combination for your lock is. So what we always recommend is you write it down somewhere that you know you're going to keep it safe. Some students like to make a note in their cell phone or something along those lines so that you know what your combination is. But again, we also keep a list of those combinations for you. So should something happen where you don't know the combination and you're reminded, we have all that information for you. But that will be provided for you in the box for the lock, both the gym and hallway lock. Great question. Any other questions? Yes, sir. Thank you very much for asking that. The question was, what is the cell phone policy? Our cell phone policy at Pearl Miller is that your phone needs to be off and away. So we are one-to-one with Chromebooks. So there is, in previous years, our teachers used great tools like Kahoot and various academic games where you needed a cell phone to participate. But now that we are one-to-one, that cell phone is not needed to participate in these awesome academic games that can be done in the classroom. So we do require that cell phones be off in a way. What we mean by off is not turned on silent, we mean actually powered down. We do understand as parents that you want to contact your children, we get that, right? That's your child and safety is paramount. Please contact the main office. Whether it's me, Mr. Longden, or one of our administrative assistants, there's always somebody in the main office. And if you need to get in touch with your child, we will answer that phone. We will get them. We can get them on the phone with you. We can get them whatever message you might have for them. All right, but please make sure you're contacting the office. Our policy is off and away. Certainly, we'd like phones to be in lockers if possible. If you're doing that, then absolutely please lock your locker. All right, that's always a big thing too. Some students get nervous by the combination, right? So they just turn it to make it look like it's locked, but it's not actually shut and locked. Always make sure you're locking that lock, especially if you're going to have valuables in there, whether it be a Chromebook or a cell phone or something along those lines. Thank you for that question, sir. Great question. Yes.
When do the children make a decision between math, French, and Spanish?
Great question. When do students make a decision between French and Spanish? So a Google form was actually sent out. I want to say about 3 weeks ago for families to make that decision. So whatever your contact was in OnCourse, whatever email contact is in OnCourse, received that Google form. However, if you didn't get it, or if you can't find it, if you don't have access to it, please email me, buserm@kinelon.org, and I can send it to you, or you can just email me directly what your choice is, and I can input it right in the spreadsheet that I have from that Google form. So please don't feel like you're late to the party. There's plenty of time. Just contact me if you need me to resend any kind of Google form for choices, because we also require that you select a music choice as well in there, whether that be band, choir, or performing art. So for scheduling purposes, it allows us to know how many sections we need for each respective class. Yes, I'm sorry, I'll come right back. Yes. Great question. Thank you for asking that. The question is, when will we get to choose where we sit at lunchtime? Yes, you will. However, there's a period of time that we allow students, it's usually the first week or so, to choose where they want to sit at lunch. After that time period, we do request that students remain at that lunch table for the remainder of the school year. Sometimes things occur throughout the school year. Something may change. Dynamics with friendships may change. You may ask to change the table at lunch. We understand that. That is a great opportunity for you to bring concerns forward to either me or Mr. Long or certainly your counselors, so we can help navigate those kind of situations should they arise. But we do ask that students remain in their lunch table group throughout the school year. As you may see or may notice, there's 12 chairs per table. All right, so that sometimes becomes an interesting dynamic too. What if your friend group is 14 people, right? Can't fit 14 at a table. That's when we would recommend, and again, this is that first week or two of transition is a great opportunity to come forward, ask the teachers on duty, talk to your counselors, even feel free to come see me and Mr. Mongan. Hey, how should we navigate this? I have a friend group of 14 people, we all want to sit together. Hey, if there's 2 tables back to back here on Friday, let's do 7 and 7, right? You guys, it might not be the same table, but all you gotta do is turn and still talk to each other, right? Great ways to socialize. We want you to be with friends. We want it to be an enjoyable opportunity. We don't want it to be stressful. We don't want it to be burdensome. Those first couple weeks, that transition period, we get it. Ask 1,000,001 questions. Ask for help. Ask for help navigating where I should sit or who I should sit with, or with my friend group and all that kind of stuff. We're here to help with that. So please do not be stressed about that. Don't look at that as a negative. It ends up being a great thing. All right, it's awesome to spend that year with that group at your table. Hit me with it.
Are there all of 6th grade at once, or is it
Great question. The question is, does all of 6th grade eat at once, or is it mixed? All of our lunch periods are mixed. So our lunch periods will have 6th, 7th, and 8th graders in them. So our lunch periods are all mixed. Great question. The question is, how many lunch periods? Next year, there will be 2 lunch periods. All right, so there will be lunch periods 5 and lunch period 6. All right, so I know it sounds 2 lunches for roughly 400 students, right? But believe it or not, this room can absolutely hold that in about half. All right, so we will be able to accommodate that. We will make sure that everybody again has that opportunity to sit where they want to sit, be with who they want to be with. Thank you.
the sports practices available this summer. Graduating
For,
track and field, for example.
you're saying for the rising sixth graders? So any students who want to participate in sports at Pro Miller, especially if it's like cross country or something, or soccer or something along those lines in the fall, coaches will send out information. Me and Mr. Mung will send out information. A lot of times, we don't begin those things until the school year begins, because again, it's not quite like the high school schedule where they're starting significantly earlier. All right, the middle school schedule starts a little bit later. So we will send out information. There will be an opportunity for students to express interest in sports. Our coaches will send out information to you guys as parents as well as students. And actually, Mr. Quintella, if you want to jump in too as our cross-country coach, by all means.
So usually what happens, right, like, the biggest thing I will tell you is to make sure that your son or daughter gets the physical ahead of time. That saves a whole lot of, issues with, getting them to participate. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is, right when school opens up, the first day they come in, pretty much I coach cross country. So I will have forms right away as they're in class to give out, and we'll have the interest meetings right away, probably within that first week. And usually by a week and a half into it, we start going. Now, I know that soccer has cuts, but cross country does not have any cuts. Certain sports throughout the year will have cuts, like basketball, baseball, softball. Depends on the numbers of kids that we get on the team. But things like wrestling, cross country, track and field, there's no cuts for that. My biggest, advice is to make sure that you get all your paperwork in. If your child is interested in doing sport, get your physicals done ahead of time, because that just alleviates, the process a lot. Makes it a lot easier for everybody. So, and if you have any questions, you can always email me. Because I coach cross country, wrestling, and baseball here. So, anything you need to know.
In regards to cuts for soccer specifically, is it more based on less skill or allocating age or?
I would just speak, for example, it's really based on your skill. Like, if you have a sixth grader that can play, he's going to play. And that's the thing. Like, for example, on my baseball team, I have sixth graders, in the mix. So, my philosophy is to play whether 6 or 8, you're going to play, It's not going to be like, well, you're just a sixth grader. Would it be harder in a sense? Maybe because maybe the 2-year difference, someone that has a little bit more experience or something, but if they're going to be able to play, they're going to play. That's just how it comes out to me.
And to piggyback on what Mr. Quintella said, we're here to, yes, it's competitive sports, right? And, but we're here to build interest in sports, and we're here to build programs. So even if a student has a sixth grader, maybe he's covering a soccer team or something along those lines, right? It's still a great opportunity to have positive conversations with coaches. What can be worked on, right? And that may simply be, as Mr. Quintella said, right? There is a huge difference in some students in sixth grade to eighth grade, right? That maturity, that physical maturity, taller, bigger, stronger, faster, all that kind of stuff. So, please don't ever think that anything like that is necessarily negative, right? There's still 2 more years. Our coaches are here to encourage you and keep it positive. So, always inquire with coaches, in a situation like that. What can be done better? What can I work on? We're here to promote and build interest, and we want people involved.
Or if you're from high school, we don't want to cut people out and say, well, we want to build for the high school. I have a bunch of 8th graders on the big team, so I want to provide them and have a JV team actually that they have an issue. So we're going to we want to make, this is a feeder program for high school. So that's our goal to try to do that.
Yes.
Jump North Star program. Is that scheduled if you previously showed for a 6th grader going to stay the same, or will be adapted instead will go with 7th graders?
That's a great question. Mr. Chancellor, is there any way you could actually jump us back to that schedule slide so I can show you exactly how I can answer that question for you? So because math and English run in those hour blocks, we actually run math and English at 2 separate times, an AM and a PM. So because that 6th grade cycle period is period 1, that means that the AM math and English periods for 6th grade are going to be periods 2, 3, and 4. The PM periods are going to be 7, 8, and 9. And those classes occur, so the 7, 8, and 9 math and English blocks occur in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So for any students that are in the Jumpstart Math, which means that you're essentially in a math that is a grade above you, so you'll be taking 7th grade math as a 6th grader, you'll be scheduled for math and English in that 7, 8, and 9 period, because then that cycle period, period 1, doesn't impact your schedule. 6th grade has its own cycle period, period 1, 7th grade is period 2, 8th grade is period 4. So that's why that PM math and English block is necessary, especially for our students in Jumpstart. Because regardless of grade level, they'll be in their 6th grade English class, but they'll be able to transition to their 7th grade math class. Great question, thank you. Sir, did you have another question as well?
9-8.
9-8.
Very interesting.
9-8
Down
votes.
to 7, that was for sure. But yeah, it came down to the wire. This was something.
Any other questions this evening? Yes.
Is that standard across all subjects and Fridays, Thursdays, or is it kind of, some teachers do it once a week, some teachers do it once a month?
So basically, our teacher, anybody feel free to jump in, but as our teachers are grading assignments, they're actively inputting it. So it may not necessarily be a set day, but it's essentially live. So if you hand,
Throughout the day,
Yeah.
as you hand things in, and as we're grading, a student will be like, oh, I had an 84. Now my grade's an 89. Oh, now I'm a 92.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Right.
like we're constantly updating.
It's hard to understand, you know, like the first assignment, or that grade is your average, you know, there's no grade in the class, but it's the first assignment, you have a whole marking period. We work to acclimate them and their parents, quite frankly, and how things will fluctuate, and to look at the value of each assignment, understand that some will have more impact than others, some wait for completion grades, and some will be for some assessment grades after studying for a period of time of the subject matter.
and Mrs. Vanderslee, thank you for bringing that up. This is going to be the first time that you guys as students, as well as parents, unless you have an older child who's been through the school system, you're gonna have letter grades. We know that that's a whole new world, right? That may be looked on, you know, that might be intimidating, that might be scary, that may be something that you focus on, right? As Ms. Vanderslee said, we can explain that whole process to you. We certainly don't want anybody, student or parent, to become laser focused on what that grade is, because as our teacher said, that grade fluctuates daily, right? I know, like, I'm gonna pick on math a little bit, Ms. Herbert. You know you're getting homework in math on a nightly basis, right? Because that's just a different kind of class, different kind of schedule. So you may find that grade is fluctuating multiple times in a given week. Whereas I know Mr. Hubbard's class, you know, the iQuest, some of those activities may take several days to complete. So it may be days until his grades are updated. So we encourage you not to laser focus on that, because as Mrs. Vanderslee said, let's say you do poor on the first assignment, right? Well, it's September 17th, and you're saying, man, I'm already doing terrible. No, now you have 1 grade, right? That's one of those things where, like, as soon as that next grade comes in, the grade after that, they're both positive, boom, your grade's up to a B. You know, so don't stress that. We will help you navigate the nuances of that. That's new for a lot of you guys. We get that, all right? We want that to be something that, you know, is not a focus. The focus for you guys should be that transition and really learning the material, all right? Always learning, always trying to improve, always talking to your teachers about how you can improve if you feel there's an area that's concerning you, right? So don't always focus on that letter grade. We know it's a nuance, we know that's a big part of it, right? But that's not what it's all about. We're here to help throughout that process.
Mr. Producer, can I just add something?
Please.
The other important piece to Encourse, other than the grade, is the comment. Many of us, if not all of us, we don't just put the grade in. So we'll put, most of us, a detailed comment so that the student can understand, okay, what did I do wrong, or how can I improve? It lacked detail. Okay, so next time I'm going to add more detail. But it also is a good tool for the parent as well. So it's not just, oh, they got, you know, an 84 on this quiz, but if there's a comment with it that will help you better understand as well as the child, and that's a really important piece to Encourse.
It's a good place for us to add in, like, if your student needs to attend extra help because they scored poorly on a quiz, then we can go over those things with them. Or if they didn't do a homework assignment, or they turned it in incomplete, or they got a 0 or late, all of those reasons would be noted in there. For example, if someone tells me that they forgot to do their homework last night, or they left their homework in their locker, that detail will be in there in the comment, so that you can see why it is that they got that grade.
That's an important piece.
Yes, Ms. Ransom.
We also just added to that each of us have an extra help day as well. So there's also content lab as well for math and language arts. So there's an AM and a PM math content lab. So that's any grade level, 6th, 7th, 8th grade can come to that. I offer it in the afternoon, but there is one also in the morning for math. And I believe it's one for either teachers.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's just it's like any grade level can come
So
to
it wouldn't
content.
necessarily be your child's teacher, but it's someone from the subject area to help them.
In addition to their teachers.
Regularly scheduled.
It's a place where they can bring specific questions to ask if they're continuing to struggle, and they already need to attend extra help maybe because of the sport, they can go to these content labs or things like that.
Or make up
Especially
an exam.
Those ones, they run before school or during the school hours?
Before school and after. And we figure out whoever's teaching it. I've been doing it for the last 3 years. I've always had it on Thursday afternoon, so that's been pretty consistent. But it's usually offered obviously in the morning, 7:30, I believe it starts till about 8:05 or 10ish.
So all extra help days will run on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The reason for that is because we have, and I'm sorry, I should say after school extra help for respective teachers will be on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays because we have late buses that run that day. All right, so the extra help period ends at 3:50. We'll have late buses that pick students up between 3:50 and around 4:15. And they will take you to essentially close to or sometimes your exact bus stop that you would get off at. We have a list in the main office that students can view where all the stops are for respective late buses. All right, so we have 2 late buses that run to different parts of the town. That so if for any reason if a student needs to stay for extra help, they have the opportunity to still come home if you're not unable to pick them up. Certainly you're welcome to pick them up if you choose to, but we do have late buses that run too. Yes, question back. Question was, what kind of places do we go for a field trip? Great question, but I like where your head's at. So this year, we actually did a field trip in medieval times. And last year, the field trip was at Turtleback Zoo. So I'm not sure where we're going to go just yet. The prior field trip to that was Liberty Science Center. So the field trips do vary, all right? Our teachers do put a lot of time into choosing where the field trip's going to be. And yes, there is an academic component to the field trip, right? But it will tie into things that we are doing in the classroom, things that you're studying in some of your content areas, right? It may not always hit every single content area, but it will be related to an academic area. Those are, since I've been here, those are the 3 6th grade field trips that we've had, minus that 1 year that we don't speak about. Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you so much for being here with us this evening. Anybody with us online, thank you so much for joining us as well. And a huge thank you to our staff for being here tonight to just express what you and your students and your families have to look forward to as we begin this whole new chapter of entering Palm Middle School. So thank you so much, everybody. Thanks again for coming. Get home safe and have a great evening.